Hello everyone, this is Raja here, and from today's video we're going to start a new series, and I'm going to name it as a quick 5 series. And in this series we are going to deal with AWS Solution Architect Associate Certification questions, and there will be only 5 questions in this video, and we will be going through them very quickly. And let me know if you like this video. I will be making more such videos in future. So without wasting more time, let's get on with the question. So my first question is, um, suppose a program is executed once in a day. It runs for 3 minutes. What is the best way to implement this on AWS, keeping cost optimized? So the idea is there's a program that runs once in a day and it runs for 3 minutes. I need to implement this in AWS, and I need to keep in mind that the cost should be optimized. So my first option is use the EC2 instance to run the program. So I have here what it is saying is you can keep a EC2 instance, you can uh, implement the program within the EC2 instance and start executing it. And the second option is you can use AWS CloudWatch. Third option is you can use ECS, and the fourth is AWS Lambda. So after going through these options, I will strike off AWS CloudWatch right away, because AWS CloudWatch is not a compute option, it is a monitoring option. So what it does is basically monitors your AWS services and how they are performing. So I will take it away from the list, and then I am left with 1, 3 and 4. So first option is good, but keeping in mind that the program is executed only once in a day, and it is running for only 3 minutes, the whole time, like the whole duration throughout the day, the EC2 instance will be lying idle. Same as with ECS, like ECS you need to, is basically the elastic container services. So you have to set up your cluster, and then you can deploy your program and you can run over it. But I think the best way to do it here is AWS Lambda, because it offers you the serverless infrastructure where you can quickly run your program and you can quickly get the return out of it. So my option, keeping cost optimized in mind, will be AWS Lambda. So let's check what the answer is, and it is AWS Lambda. So okay, let's move on to the next question. And you have successfully created an EC2 instance on AWS. Now you want to log into the EC2 instance. Which of the following can be used to access the instance? So the options are AWS console password. The second option is key pair. The third option is AWS root password, and the fourth option is SSL certificate. So going through the options, AWS console password and AWS root password are basically the passwords of AWS console, and we are not going to use it to log into an instance that has been created in AWS. And you know, the SSL certificates are generally used for like encryption in transit, so it is no way related to this question. So I'll strike off 1, 3 and 4 options, and the only option left with me is key pair. So when you set up a system, you get a public private key pair, and using that you need to log into the EC2 instance. So my option will be for question 2 is key pair, and here it is the correct answer. So moving to question number 3. You want to set up a DB on a EC2 instance. Which is the best storage option in this case? So what I want to do, I want to set up a database in a EC2 instance, and the question is asking me which is the best storage option. So it is not asking anything about cost optimization, anything, nothing is there. It's asking the best storage option. So if I take EBS, I have EBS, I have S3, I have Glacier, and it is the fourth option is saying it is not possible. So if I go by uh, my experience, and if you also know that it is also possible, it is always possible to uh, set up and run databases in EC2 instances. Though we have AWS RDS, but we can still set up databases in EC2 instances. And so fourth option is invalid. So from 1, 2 and 3, if you remember, S3 is not good for these kind of uh, scenarios, because S3 is not that much fast, and S3 won't be able to uh, meet the demand of the performance of a database. And Glacier is basically used for archival, so you can also strike off Glacier. So only option left with us is EBS, and EBS is the answer for this question. So moving over to the next question. When AWS charges you for EIP. So what is EIP? EIP stand for Elastic IP. So the options are: EIP is always free, EIP is reserved and associated with a running instance, then only it is charged. EIP is always charged, the third option, and the fourth option is EIP is reserved and not used. So what is EIP basically? EIP is Elastic IP address that AWS gives you, and basically if you don't want like generally if you shut down and start up your EC2 instances, the public IP with associated with your EC2 instances will change, and if you don't want it to change, you generally associate it with the Elastic IP address, and that Elastic IP address ensures that if your whenever the server comes down and goes down and comes up again, there is a static IP address that can be used to reach out to that server. So Elastic IP is always free is not correct, because if Elastic IP is always free, then people be using Elastic will always be using EIP, and there will be a lot of wastage, right? So EIP is the first option is not correct. Second is EIP is reserved and associated with a running instance. So here is an exception. Here is the a twist in this EIP thing. AWS don't charges you when you are using the EIP. It basically charges you when you are not using the EIP. So the correct answer here is EIP is reserved and not used, and AWS does this on purpose, because if people keeps the EIP and they don't use it, there will be a lot of static IP addresses that will be used, and it will be reserved with particular accounts. So to reduce this, whenever you are not using a EIP, AWS charges you. So the best answer for this question is option 4, and yes, it is the correct one. So moving to my last question here in this quick 5 video. EBS is a persistent block storage, persistent object storage, transient block storage, on instance store. So EBS, if you go by name, is Elastic Block Storage. So obviously the object storage and instance storage are out of the options, and I am left with persistent block storage and transient block storage. And what is the difference between persistent and transient block storage? So persistent block storage means, like, if you shut down and start up an instance, the data that is in your storage will always stay there, and if you shut down and start up a transient block storage instance, the data will be getting wiped out. So if you can remember, like if you have some experience with AWS, you should know that uh, if you shut down and start up a EC2 instance, the data in the EBS stays as it is. So EBS is a persistent block storage. So the answer for this question is 1, persistent block storage, and here it is. So by this we come to the end of this video, and if you like this quick 5 question series, then please let me know. then I will make more videos like this, and I will try to bring a video every week. And you can test your knowledge with these questions, and you can pause the video whenever you are looking at the question, and if you don't understand that, you can answer it later. So uh, do let me know what are your views on this video, and if you like more such videos, give it a thumbs up, and give me the comments over there. Hopefully you like this video. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye and have a nice time.